to Dr. Patricia Boechler from the Faculty of Education, Educational Psychology, who's going to talk to us about virtual environments and learning. So please help me welcome our next speaker.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I want to tell you today about a project that's a 5-year SSHRC project focusing on virtual environments and learning. So why study virtual environments in education? Well, virtual environments are 3D immersive environments where we use an avatar or representation of ourselves to move through an environment and experience not only objects and events in that environment, but also interact with other avatars who represent real people as well. We know that virtual environments and video games are a version of virtual environments, so I'm not talking about video games per se, but I am talking about immersive virtual environments, and they look kind of like video games, but they don't have rules, they don't have specific set out goals as far as entertainment. Virtual environments are set up for educational purposes and for other kinds of purposes. They've also been used for psychological intervention, those kinds of things as well. What this project is about is looking at developing a psychological model of how people learn in these environments and exactly what those experiences, how they impact the knowledge or the skills that they take away with them. So the overall goals of this study are, first of all, to test the effects on learning of spatial and social elements in virtual environments. And why would we pick spatial and social elements? Well, we know from psychological literature that social elements, social interaction with other people is really critical for learning. We also know that spatial cognition, or the way that we think about space, is really important for how people think about academic topics like math. We want to put these findings together to create a coherent model, and we want to take this model and extrapolate it into principles for educators. So far, what we have found out is that how we set up the spatial layout of these environments is really important. So we need to have fewer locations with related information in differentiated kinds of ways. If everything looks the same, students will not remember. Students with more general computer knowledge performed better than those with less, but social media experience, oops, I'm sorry, I mispronounced that, performed better than those with less, but social media experience and video game experience was not related to learning in VEs. So what this tells us is that virtual environments are pretty accessible for everyone. You don't have to be a gamer to perform well or to learn well in a virtual environment. When we tested pairs within these environments, and so far we've only tested text-based chats, we're working on sorry, I guess I have to finish. So anyway, next steps, we're doing data collection with voice interaction, larger pairs or samples, and we're looking into problem-solving tasks in virtual environments as well. Thank you.